Welcome into Inside LAFC podcast. We are live every Monday, 12:30 Pacific time, early Tuesday morning in Korea. Hello to our Korean friends, somewhere in the 4 a.m. hour on a Tuesday. A reminder, we are live on LAFC YouTube, LAFC Facebook, so you have some options there. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I am Max Bretos, and we are here in the preseason, inching closer to the regular season and the big games that will be coming. We have a lot of big plans here on our platforms on Inside LAFC podcast. Great guests coming ahead for you. For those who have asked about it, just be patient. We will get there. In the meantime, you have my pretty little face here on a Monday. We aren't going anywhere. A lot of great programming on other YouTube channels that we will be bringing to you as well. So stay tuned for that. We're very excited as we get closer to the big MLS season and CONCACAF Champions Cup calendar. In fact, I have my ESPN app, and then you calibrate your favorite teams. And then once the games get closer, they start putting it in the schedule. I had my Real España LAFC matchup in there with the times. It was very exciting. We still have to wait. That's coming up on February the 17th. That'll be the first game. And then we will talk about the MLS opener as well. As we will let everyone come on in. This is your platform too. If you watch the show live, we will have your questions here. We will answer questions, your concerns, your comments, your commentary. It doesn't have to be a question. You guys are smart. I like that. You know what? What's up? What's up, Javier? Blaze, you play for LAFC. I got to get. I'm glad if that's the case. I'm going to know you a little bit better. How about that AFCON final? We will talk about it. That AFCON final, Senegal and Morocco, for me, was the best soccer game. I mean, for better or worse, with so much happening in the last year and a half at least, if not more. Hello, MC. I see. We're going to address this as well. I love LAFC, but with all the activity of Inter Miami, feels like LAFC is resting on their laurels with the Sonny signing. We will clear that up, and we'll tell you how LAFC has their foot on the pedal and historically makes the moves. They have been the best club in MLS year in, year out, always making the postseason, always with big ambition, and it's all coming through here. And keep in mind, for the first time maybe since the early years, LAFC has brought the band back together. And I am telling you, that is important. If anyone minimizes that, then they haven't watched sports. That's what I do. I watch sports. I'm bringing players together where they can build off of last season, which because of contracts and so forth, LAFC wasn't able to do. They're able to do here. And as we talked about last week, one of the big ticket items, Son Heung-min coming in for his first full season. So yeah, keep them coming. Anyone missing Sonny? We're all missing Sonny. We had such a healthy dose of him between August and November. It was every week, and he made every media appearance, and he is absolutely delightful. Now he's had time to adjust. I have a feeling we're going to get an even better Sonny. A Sonny with some LA walk-around privileges. Is there any news about new signings? Well, we'll talk about a signing that broke at the end of last week, which we didn't get to talk about last week. But we know LAFC is going to make moves, and there's some rumblings. So expect to hear much more about LAFC as they fill out their coffers. They look to impact this league. And I also want to mention about Inter Miami. Inter Miami is doing all those moves. They're on the East. LAFC's focus is the Western Conference, even though they're playing Inter Miami, the opener, and the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And also Inter Miami's on the other side of that bracket. I think Inter Miami is going to be the favorite in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Their owner, Jorge Mas, even talked about this week MLS teams playing the Copa Libertadores. I have some thoughts on that. There is to play in the South American Champions League, which is the Copa Libertadores. I'm thinking that MLS and Liga MX focus on the Brazilian league because that's where it's out in South America. That's the league that's having success. And this may sound pie in the sky. If MLS and Liga MX continue their growth, why not talk to the UEFA Champions League? I know it would compromise that tournament. It wouldn't be an exclusive European tournament, but maybe you can get over there with regards to expanding and getting the good bedfellows. You go to strength to strength. Juice 323. What does the jersey look like, Max? You'll be able to find out very, very soon. Very soon, and you'll be able to get your new jersey as well with Sonny's name on the back or what have you. I don't know if I said this, but like the video, subscribe to the channel. You guys know that. and we will get to all of that. Okay, I got it. Why is LAFC not recruiting good players? All LAFC has is good players. They had the best defense at the end of last season. They have Denny and Sonny. Denny, who set a new record by scoring 20-plus goals in 3 straight. Sonny, who we know is great. And then they're putting these players, they're developing more young players. We have some great news about LAFC young players as well. Listen to the gospel of LAFC. I ain't going to feed you with fake information. I just know this club never disappoints. Can't wait for the new jersey. Aquí estamos, Gomez Jr. There you go, Alan. Just because you don't know the player doesn't mean they aren't good. The team as is, I'm very confident they can hit it. And we know about LAFC looking here in this first transfer window and then the summer where they always pack a punch. So there we go. Here we go. Craig, the voice of reason. It's off season, and like every year, people are losing their minds and panic buttons are being pushed. LAFC deliver a roster every year, and the season has not started yet. Facts. But this is, I guess, the feeling of becoming a big-time club. You let things play out, and you will see. I think LAFC have done a wonderful thing of keeping everyone in fact. Thank you, RM28Z. I forgot to mention this. Happy MLK Day as we remember a great American. We have a day off, but use some of that time to read about what MLK Jr. did. LAFC, I wish I could be out there. Part of our charitable arm, spending some time at the schools. I have been there where they're in the MLK parade in downtown LA, and the public loves it. But this is a really important day for so many of our Angelinos. So read a little bit about MLK and what he was able to do. Just because it happened so long ago, it's important, especially today, to reinforce those things about messaging and how we all share this country together. So good stuff. So let's get into it. Not as busy of a news week as last week, which was surprisingly busy, but plenty to talk about. I want to mention the LAFC players on international duty this weekend at BMO Stadium. I got to call that game. I don't know if anyone stayed home and watched that because there was NFL football and plenty of other options out there. Canada played Guatemala. It had a very big LAFC feel. I saw Marc Dos Santos there. I saw Mark Delgado. So LAFC players going out there to support, which is great. Had a chance to talk to Jesse Marsh, the Canada coach. Canada doing great things. Guatemala as well. Guatemala didn't qualify for the World Cup after beating Canada in the Gold Cup and making the semifinals. But they have a nice program developing, and now their eyes are on 2030. First for Canada, Mathieu Choinière. He is looking to be on this World Cup roster for Canada. So he's not there yet. But from what I saw here, I thought he was one of the better players. He went a full 90 minutes, which very few players did because it was a Tier 2 friendly. And you had open subs. Both teams made 8-9 subs each. So Mathieu Choinière is a guy that Jesse Marsh likes a lot. I would say his chances of making the Canada World Cup roster are very, very good. I'd put it at 75%. I hope I don't jinx it. But you see the proof there. And this is something that may come back to LAFC. He took all the set pieces for Canada on Saturday night. 12 corner kicks, all of which a couple were pretty good. Canada should have had it. The Guatemalan goalkeeper, Navarro, made 6 or 7 really good saves. Mathieu also had a free kick, which was spectacular, that Navarro fingertipped away, which could have been a highlight reel goal. So he put a lot on his plate. The midfield position for Canada is not their biggest strength. I think the attacking part of the field is when they have Jonathan David and Tajon Buchanan and Kyle Larin. Midfield is an opportunity, so I think Choinière is in good shape, which is good for LAFC to have more players at the World Cup. Canada opens up their World Cup in Toronto on June the 12th against a team to be determined. It could be Italy. So we're very excited for Mathieu. I did want to mention there was he came off the bench, and I don't know a lot about him. I'm finding the information here. Marius Ayanero came off and played a few minutes for Canada. He is an LAFC 2 player. And I don't think he got a lot of fanfare, but we're going to give him some fanfare here. This is a 17-year-old American who was able to come through, and now Canada, this is, of course, not the first team Canada that played on Saturday. The European-based players stayed in Europe. This was MLS players, Canadian Premier League players, and a lot of MLS Next Pro players, including Ianero. Now, for Guatemala, I don't know if any of you guys watch this, or do we have any Chapines or Canadians here? Soccer USA, Happy New Year, Max. Are we getting in and out at BMO yet? Any new concessions? I have no information on that, but I'm sure it'd be well received. Lots of good dining options inside the BMO and close by. Great taco trucks on the way out. I go to Carneleros in the strip mall on Vernon, grab a little something on the way out as I get onto the 110 freeway. Guatemala, Matt Evans, who signed an LAFC senior contract here in this offseason, saw Matt at the game, said hello to him. First thing I told him, Matt, you did the Nate or Daz preseason starter kit. You hit the gym. He is looking, I think he's 19 now, but he's certainly filling up a young player's build. Very exciting. He was an under 23 for Guatemala, but to get called into the senior team, he came on at the half. He's from Simi Valley, California. His first touch, he almost put it into the goal. It was this long-range shot, and then he did score a goal, but he was offside. He was offside by a fair bit, and we're very happy that Matt had that opportunity. This all goes into the coffers for LAFC. Matt Evans may not see a lot of action for LAFC, but the coaching staff have thought highly of him enough to kick him up, and Cabral Carter. You just never know. Young players are the future. Young players sometimes are your best option to get over the top. And LAFC are getting more and more young players. Aaron Long on an LAFC piece talked about Jude Terry, saying keep an eye on him. Jude Terry is probably regarded as the third or fourth best American player under the age of 18. And we've had him on our shows. He's wise beyond his years. It could be Jude. It could be Cabral Carter. It could be Matt Evans. It could be, who do you guys think it's going to be? It might be Nate Ordaz taking another step. It could be David Martinez. The list goes on. So the star players there, the young players. De Carlo Guerra, who's another big star for LAFC too, didn't get called into Guatemala. They weren't able to work it out, but he is a guy that eventually could make his way to LAFC, and Guatemala thinks highly of him. So a good day for LAFC. I don't think there was a club that was better served on this international Saturday, which was the only game in town. I think Bolivia played Panama, and that was that. This is Inside LAFC Podcast, live every Monday on LAFC YouTube and Facebook. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's see what we got here. This is interesting. One of our Korean listeners. Soccer, there is no answer other than sweat. I think I understand what you're getting at. I think we're talking about putting in the hard work, right? That's a great way to live. Keep going there. As I'm getting my translations here on my YouTube account. And for our Korean audience, we don't have the closed caption. I know you guys, I see a couple of people asking for that. You can see that on the re-air. And we appreciate that because the numbers on the re-air are amazing. People are tuning into this. We know the appetite for information for LAFC is high. So, all right, I couldn't get the complete translation. So we move on. Liam, okay, I got to read this. Oh, that's very nice. Liam on Facebook, it says, if you need any help, if you're in a tough spot, send me a message with the word grace, and I'll see what I can do. Stay blessed. Very positive. We'd certainly like that. We saw a huge difference between LAFC midfield versus Whitecaps. We need an upgrade. I think the LAFC midfield, you have Igor Jesus at some points coming back. You can say what you want, Timothy Tillman. I am telling you, Timothy Tillman had a breakthrough season. You know how I know? Because Mauricio Pochettino, one of the great minds in world football, acknowledged it, threw Timothy Tillman to the national team, and actually started him in a pre-World Cup friendly national team. Timothy Tillman, while it'll be a long shot for him to make the U.S. team, is in the mix. And that's from Mauricio Pochettino. That's not me saying it. Mark Delgado, on data taken by Ryan O'Hanlon at ESPN.com, they put all the American players and they put all the minutes, all the data, the passes, the goals, everything. All the American players, Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic, everyone. He was in the top 15. Top 15. So I think they could certainly add another person there. Vancouver had a great midfield but we will see. Maybe we sign Griezmann as DP for summer. Maybe. I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule any of this stuff out. It's all very positive as we look forward to what they might be able to do moving forward. Let us continue on with what is happening. Some news that broke late last week we didn't address. Tyler Boyd is black and gold. Tyler Boyd is a name that you might remember a little bit from the past. He was got off waivers from Nashville, much like Jacob Schaffelberg, who was injured but was with the Canadian national team in that game versus Guatemala. His contract will take him through 2026. There is an option for 2027. Last 2 seasons with Nashville. Very fast player like Schaffelberg. Speed kills. It's really good to have more of it. And you create competition. John Thornton said that on the on his messaging after the signing. He is a Kiwi from New Zealand where he started his career, but he had a one-time switch, had 10 caps with the United States in 2019. He has a great resume. He was in Europe from 2015 to 2022, playing in Turkey and Portugal, played at Besiktas, one of the top clubs in Turkey. He is 31 years of age. What do I think about it? Well, he's going to have to gain a lot of ground. There's a lot of players ahead of him. But LAFC has a lot of games. And Tyler Boyd used to play for the Galaxy too. You remember he scored a goal against LAFC at one point. So that's not always bad to bring him here. We saw how that worked with Mark Delgado. I think Boyd is the archetype player of a change of scenery. So he's going to come here, and I think he knows he's up against it. And this is something we've got to make abundantly clear with LAFC. And this was, again, these are not my words. This is from the MLS Player Association. We talked about this a few weeks ago. LAFC, amongst the player base, is viewed as the number one destination and the number one fan support atmosphere, whatever you want to call it. So players want to come here. Nashville plays a much different style than LAFC. So I think BJ Callahan is looking for players that he can he's just started over there. This is his second full season. They just signed Christian Espinoza, so Tyler Boyd and Jacob Schaffelberg. I don't think they were like a situation where they weren't good enough for Nashville. They just didn't fit with what Nashville's doing. But they will fit in the eyes of a very good coaching staff, as you will find out, for LAFC. So I think it's great to have a player like this, and you get it for a team-friendly deal. So this is a very low risk if it doesn't work out. If it does work out, you have a really nice player, and you saw all of that very excellent pedigree that he has had. Let's see what's going on here with regards to some of the Messi. We're going to talk about Messi. That was the comment. Max, would you say LAFC's first full team squad will travel to Honduras for the Real España game? 100%. LAFC are a favorite in that game. A lot of people are already saying you move along. They should get through it. And I think having that whole roster from last season coming back should help them. And if they get a good result in Honduras, then you really push through in the home leg and finish the job. But they are not messing around. They know this is a process, just like last year where they had to go to Colorado and that cold, and they were able to make it through the quarterfinals. I think LAFC have a really good shot at least to make a quarterfinals, but one step at a time. There we go. Is there any way to watch the preseason games? We will talk about the preseason schedule. They are closed doors. We will watch some of the games, and we'll bring you some of our notes and let you know who did well. You can go to the Coachella Valley on February the 8th. Go to Coachella Valley Invitational. Come out. Watch the team. I'll be there. Come and say hello. We'd love to see you. You may not be in LA, but I would say going to the Coachella Valley is a great weekend away. That is Super Bowl weekend, too, so make sure you have some plans later in the day to watch the big game. Could be the Rams. How about the Rams, man? I'm more of a Chargers guy, but I like the Rams because they have 2 Florida State. I went to Florida State. They have 2 Florida State, including Jared Verse and Braden Fiskey. So I am pulling for them. What is the game plan signing players with known injuries? I think you're talking about Schaffelberg. That is all vetted. And if a player's injured, you can return it. But LAFC wants the player. They got the surgery done. They have faith in him to move forward. So that's an LAFC decision. And we approve of it because we're going to be very happy when Schaffelberg kicks in. LAFC have the players to make it through there. By the time the season starts, based on the timeline, I mean, he'll be ready 3 weeks after that. That's not so bad. Jose, saludos, Max. Hola, Jose. Let's talk about the rumors and campaign to bring Tristan Blackman back home. Tristan Blackman mentioned a lot with this Inter Miami. It would be great to see Tristan back. I'm so happy. I've talked to Tristan a lot about his development. He is on a rocket ship. He's put in the work. Who knows? Who knows? There is a track record of LAFC players coming back, but he is in high demand. And LAFC, remember, they have their number one defender in Aaron Long. He's coming back from that Achilles injury. And the conversations I've had with Aaron suggest he is going to be ready to go. Well, we're getting Danny Cristostomo mentioned. You can put Cristostomo next to Sonny and Bouanga, and he'll be in the top 15. I love Delgado's hustle, but he plays too safe too often. Man, ask anyone about Mark Delgado. Ask Greg Vanny. Ask the media. Ask my friend Hercules Gomez. He is so underrated. We have two of the most underrated American players, Mark Delgado and Ryan Hollingshead, and they have an axe to grind. Mark is the goods, so we're happy to have him. He does so many good things. Come on, you guys. You should know that. Mark Delgado, everything tells you. Let your eyes just watch. We know some of these reports about players. Fabrizio Romano, we'll get to that when it's locked in because, you know, I'm very superstitious. You talk about a player before LAFC says it, then you can get yourself, it gets messy. So we will talk about it hopefully next week. We'll talk about LAFC is going to make some moves. And I think there's based on our conversations with John Thornton, 2 or 3 more moves before the preseason is done. Are we going to win against Miami? And is it home or away for us? It's the season opener, so it's one game. I think we have a great shot. Inter Miami's in a lot of flux. LAFC will be locked in, and it's at home. And we'll talk about that game here in a minute. Coachella Valley Invitational schedule is out. Yes, it is. Go to Coachella. Just do a type search, Coachella Valley Invitational. LAFC have one game. If you want to get there Saturday, there's a bunch of games. It's a fun place to be. Use Saturday, go skiing, go to national parks. Go to a casino, wherever. It's all there. When do they release the New Jersey? You'll get your first glimpse here in a week or so, and early February is when they will release it. Sonny will be 34 years old this summer. He might play until 3 more years for LAFC. We need strong players' support for his career in LAFC. Son Heung-min is quite content with his teammates, and I think Sonny is the profile that could certainly hit 40. Players are reaching further into it a lot more. So it's all happening. And LAFC, to me, were the 3rd best team, almost the 2nd best team in the season at the end of last year, bringing everyone back and adding some places. You'll see. Sad seeing Matty Bogish to Houston and fall to St. Louis. Great LAFC legends. There was the news, Fabrizio Romano, Matty Bogish, big deal for the Houston Dynamo. Big money. Some of that's coming back to LAFC. That was a great sale. I mean, he did not play great at Cruz Azul, and I hope Matty does well. I think he's great for the league. That was great business by LAFC. And Mamadou Fall, St. Louis really wanted him. I'm happy to have him back. I'm looking forward to seeing them both in and around the MLS landscape next season. I love the fact that a lot of players go out and they come back. Facundo Torres, rumored to be coming back. And Diego Rossi went to Europe and came back. It's healthy. The players see MLS go out and they go, I was happy there. I want to come back. We keep that alumni going on well. So we talked about Tyler Boyd. Denny Bouanga, we wanted to mention, is now in camp. He got a week off after coming from AFCON. Wasn't a great one with Gabon, which we documented last week. Denny Bouanga is there. Reports are he settled right in with his buddies. You know, he's very close to Timothy Tillman and many others, and they are off and running. He's very close to Son Heung-min, so they're starting to get their licks in. He's going to be a little bit behind because of AFCON, but still, we know Denny Bouanga, when it comes to it, he's going to get into the bloodstream quickly. Last time LAFC went to Central America for CONCACAF Champions Cup, Denny Bouanga, was it a hat trick at Alajuelense? He'll be ready to go as we head to Honduras. So very good stuff for Denny Bouanga. Everyone's there. 26 players, full roster. So when you look about LAFC, they've invested in their roster. They like what they have. We saw enough good reason why they like what they have. They don't have the flexibility as much of other teams by signing these players. But bird in hand, bird in hand, if it works and you're banking on the young players, this is uncharted waters for LAFC. So they signed the players, and everyone talks about looking for talent. I think we've gotten spoiled by that because nobody did it or does it more than LAFC. Last season with all these loan players, Cengiz Under, Javiro Dilrosun, who's been rumored to be coming back to maybe Portland, Andy Morin, Jailson. Clubs don't do this. LAFC are scanning. They have the best recruiting department. They're looking everywhere. Europe, South America, Central America, Asia, Africa. And they give those guys their chance, and they try to make it work out, but they are casting a wider net than anybody. So there it is. So we mentioned that about the AFCON final. Go to YouTube, type in Senegal, Morocco, and watch it. It was unbelievable. I'm happy for Senegal. I'm happy for Morocco in the sense that they did an incredible job hosting. Morocco is going to be a World Cup host in 2030 with Spain, Portugal, and some South American countries briefly. I want to go to Morocco. By the water, it's close to Europe. And everything I saw, the stadiums, the fan fests, unbelievable. So very excited. Great AFCON. There was obviously some weird things inside the stadium, but I don't think that should diminish what happened in the big picture of the tournament. We need to keep an open DP slot. We will see. We will see. Andy Morin should have given a chance to, as a player. They loved Andy Morin, but you're getting him from a Premier League team in Brighton Hove Albion, and that's tough business. They're going to ask a lot more than probably what the player's value is because they're dealing with a different, they're in a different stratosphere with money in the Premier League. But that's a risk you take when bringing in a Premier League player. But Andy loved it here. Maybe we'll see him again down the road. Is Son going to recruit players like Messi at Miami? It took Messi a little bit to ramp that up, but absolutely. And he's got the Spurs connection. He's got the Korean connection. If players want to come play with Sonny, which I'm sure they do, I expect to start seeing that maybe in the summer, maybe in 2027. I see bring Harry Kane to LAFC, Sonny. Far be it from me to say that is not possible. Okay, let's go real quickly here. Closed door scrimmage for Bayern under 23s. That is tomorrow. I will be there at BMO. We won't be televised, but we'll give you a full report here on Inside LAFC podcast. That's the beginning of a 6-game slate, which will end at the Coachella Valley. So all the details. LAFC has that partnership with Bayern. So this is going to be a pretty good level of opponent that you will see. If we sign another under 22 player, we can only have 2 DP players. Correct. You can get 6 in total. Under 22 players give you a lot more flexibility with the cap. You get more allocation money, and you could still bump up one of those under 22s and free up a DP slot in the summer. I'm telling you, there's a domino effect here. So don't get caught up in all the what is it? Minushka. That's not the right word. Don't get caught on all the information and the apparatuses in MLS. It works out. LAFC are one step ahead with all of that. February 21st, LAFC versus Inter Miami at the LA Coliseum. They're expecting a crowd of 77,000. You should be one of them. So go to LAFC.com for details on how you can be there. It's going to be amazing. I know you guys have talked a lot about Inter Miami and what's happening, and everyone's wondering, is it going to fit under the salary cap? And people are they doing it with voodoo or weird magic? Inter Miami got rid of 2 DPs. They were paying a lot. Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba. They moved things around. They had flexibility. They picked up a ton of allocation money, allowing them to make these moves, and they're making a ton of moves. But it's all on the up and up. But this is exciting what Inter Miami is doing, raising the standard here. And again, they're on that other side. LAFC have time to make the moves to catch up to them if they have to catch up to them. I think that's a pretty good push for either of these teams at this stage. So get your tickets at LAFC.com. We want to see you there. 77,000. It's just around the corner, February 21st. Support for LA and Son was for Son to be a striker, not a helper. He'll get his goals. Son Heung-min knows what he's doing. I'm going to the game. We'll see you there. Juice 323, the lots of fire signs. 77K. Cannot wait. I know, Alan, about the DPs. LAFC are no stranger to signing big-time players. We all know that. patience. Season just starting, and we're off to a good start. That's all the time we have for this week. We'll be back again next Monday. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Until we meet again, this is Max telling you, let's go black and gold.